Are you hiring a Facebook ad agency? Well, before you pull the trigger, make sure you watch this video. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick Theriot, and if you're questioning why I'm credible to be teaching these types of things, well, I run a Facebook ads agency and also coach and mentor students, and I've also done over $80 million in line revenue with Facebook ads. So today, I want to discuss a little bit about what are some of the things you should look at from hiring a Facebook ads agency. I'm gonna be as unbiased as possible. I'm literally gonna be telling you guys things of mistakes we used to make. So even pointing out some stuff that we fucked up on a few clients, and also just general things I see across the market that's just like, that's a red flag. And hopefully, if you're watching this and you're about to pull the trigger on an e-com or Facebook ads agency, specifically growth partner, whatever you want to call it, then at least you have a few things that you can put in your back pocket of what you should be looking out for before you pull the trigger. So make sure to like button, hit the subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and let's dive into the video. So you're finally at a point, maybe you've grown your business. Typically, a lot of Shopify business owners. I know there's a lot of Shopify people that specifically be watching this video, and you're about to hire an agency. You've grown your business. Maybe you're doing about $30,000 to $40,000 a month in revenue. It's typically, I'd say anywhere between $25,000 to $30,000 a month. And that's typically where you start to look at hiring an agency. And really cool moment. You've grown the ads yourself, and now you're ready to take the next step and hand it off to someone who knows even more about ads. And then now all of a sudden, you can go off and do your own thing, and you'll scale to $1 million a month profit, and everything's happy. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. At least 9 out of 10 times. And I want to give you guys some info on why and what are some of the problems we've seen, both on the client side and also too on the agency side as well. So first thing you need to look at is when you're hiring an agency, do they have case studies? That's probably the easiest one. Do they have case studies where, at least in the e-com niche, preferably if they have case studies in your specific niche, that's the best. But whether you have it in that specific niche or even sub niche in that case right there. So do they have case studies in the e-commerce field, or do they have case studies within your specific niche? That's even better. Look, we actually have a few clients where we didn't have any case studies at all in that specific niche, and we just fucking blew it out the park for them. So I'm more concerned about, do they understand, like, if it's lead generation, do they understand the general concept of lead generation, how it works, or e-com, how does an e-com business work? So that way, when you start working with them, it's not like, well, hey, hold up, explain this to me, or wait, I can't really do this, explain this to me. Where if they already worked with these particular types of businesses, even if it's not the same product, then they should still be pretty solid right there. Now, you really want to look at their foundation, of which, how do they develop new winning ads? Because look, to be fair, if it's a particular agency that's pitching you account structure where it's like, hey, we're gonna come in your ad accounts. I see you're not running any retargeting campaigns. I also see that this agency is running broad targeting. I also see they're only running one campaign in a CBO, and it's not really doing anything here. You really need to do a top of funnel campaign, a middle of funnel campaign, a bottom of funnel campaign, creative testing campaign, an audience testing campaign, and all of this stuff that's going to improve your performance. I actually had a client that got poached by another agency with that pitch, and we blew this client, or we blew this other agency out the water with performance. We did not only do it once, we did it twice to another agency. We had 2 clients get poached that, yeah, you need to do a top funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel. You need to do a lookalike audience, entrance audience, and stuff like that. Because quite frankly, look, all we do is broad targeting. We do one campaign, broad targeting. We just focus on the ad side. We don't focus on the campaign, like the structure of the ad account. And every client that comes in or every client that gets poached by another agency and gets a pitch about that, we blow them out the water when the client's like, all right, cool, let's put y'all head to head. So just again, something to look at. If the agency's leading with account structure, look, it's important. It's 20% of the equation. But at the end of the day, that an agency that's going to do the best for you is an agency that focuses on marketing fundamentals and building good ads. Because at the end of the day, the ad that they build gets put in front of your customer. And if your customer sits down and watches that ad because they resonate with that ad, that's going to get them a click. More clicks you get, it's going to turn to more purchases. The more purchases you get at the acquisition cost you need, that's going to grow your business. Simple as that. If the agency's sitting there focusing on everything else but this, what's going to happen is that they won't be good at this, but they'll be good at account structure. And guess what? You're going to be miserable because they're doing a lot of work. They're taking a lot of action, but they're not doing the things that's actually going to move the needle. So make sure whatever agency you work with has a solid foundation around marketing fundamentals, solid testing process, how they test the ads, how they build the ads and develop the concepts, and also keeping things organized. Make sure they're keeping things organized. If they are testing new creatives, which is good, it's solid. It's a really good thing if they're focused on testing new creatives. Just make sure that they have a process in place that's not just going to lead to the same creative over and over and over. Oh, hey, we're selling a green product, for example. Let's test a pink version, and they just keep doing that over and over and over, and they never develop anything new and fresh for the account. Also, another red flag, and this is two-part right here. This is mostly the client's red flag for us, but we've recently solved this by actually having our own content creators now, to where we can actually film fresh content. But if the agency can't get you fresh content and you can't get fresh content, you're going to be in a bad place. It's not necessarily the agency's fault, because it is significant. Just to give you guys basically an idea. If we're creating fresh content, we charge $10K a month. If it's just the ad side and scripting side and giving you scripts to film, it's $5K a month. So it is a lot more if we're doing everything, the content and all that good stuff, scripting out the ads, filming the ads, and scaling the ads. So it is more. So either the client needs to be able to film the content, or the agency needs to be able to film the content. But if you're not filming the content and the agency's not filming the content, someone needs to take charge. And I'm not going to say it's necessarily a red flag for any. Well, it's a huge red flag. It just depends. Either you, the client, pays the agency more and they film the content, or the agency gets you to film the content. So someone needs to be filming fresh content. But if the agency says, oh, we don't need any new content, what you have is good now, that's a big red flag if they're not filming any content. So that's something super big right there to look out for. So yeah, so that's a couple key things. Another thing is you need to have the right expectations and understanding of what the agency does. So, back in the day, again, early mistake I made, we used to actually do everything. We'd create the copy, we'd create the creative, we would create the ads, manage the ads, all that good stuff. But there's some people who the client has to write the copy, write the creative, and the media buyer or the agency is just a media buyer, which is just someone that pushes buttons in the ad account, and that is it. So you need to make sure that, hey, is this person going to be creating copy and creatives, or do they have a team in place that's be creating copy and creatives on a weekly basis or as needed, or will I have to be doing that? And you need to have this expectation clearly, put together going into this, because if the media buyer is not doing that, then well, guess what? Now, yes, you outsource the Facebook ads, but you still have to write copy, you have to get creatives for that particular person. Second thing is the media buyer is not responsible for this. So it's not their fault. Now, if it's an agency and you're working with a team and there's a couple different people in the team, that'll be a different story, but make sure that is put together in terms of it's talked about and there's a clear understanding of who's doing it. My advice is if the agency's not doing it, go to another agency, because quite frankly, as you grow, it just becomes this weight of a chore you have to keep doing that just sucks. So find an agency you can grow with that can already do the creative, can already do the copy, already does the media buying and everything, to where you can actually truly buy back your time, not just getting yourself another job. So that's a big thing right there. Any agency that's purely focused on ROAS, another big red flag to an extent. I've mixed the feelings about that one. Yes, I know you right now as a Shopify owner, you're targeting a specific ROAS as you grow your business from a profitability standpoint. But the problem with that is as you scale, ROAS will drop. That's normal. So you need to be looking at NCCPA, new customer cost per acquisition. And you also need to be looking at different projections of this in CPA at this amount of spend will lead you to this much profit. If you download my CPA calculator 2023, how to calculate your target CPA in 2023, I give you a Google Sheet to map all of this out. Because hey, if you just set the goal as a client, hey Nick, I just want a 3x ROAS, cool. I'm gonna lower your spend with the same ad you have now, do nothing, get you a 3x ROAS, we're happy. You're like, what the fuck, Nick? I'm making less. Yeah, but you got 3x ROAS. So that's why ROAS is purely irrelevant. We don't look at ROAS at all. I fire clients. I don't even take clients on that come in and say, hey Nick, I want a ROAS. If they do, I'll be like, all right, cool. We're gonna set up an NCCPA. We're not gonna worry about ROAS. We're gonna set up NCCPA for your business. We'll run the modeling, the financials and everything like that to see what makes the most sense for your business. Then we'll go. And if they're still like, well, I want ROAS, well, I'll say, hey, cool, nice knowing you. I wish you the best. I hope you find an agency that can cater to you, but we simply don't do that over here. So that's a big thing for us, from just a client side. Again, that's both. we see red flags in agencies that promise a certain ROAS, also see red flags in clients who want a certain ROAS, and it just doesn't make sense. So that's why, again, how to target your CPA calculator 2023. I have a full video with a Google Sheet for you guys. You can run with it, and why not? So that's one thing. Weekly calls. I don't see any value in doing weekly calls with an agency or a client, like just for an agency to sit down and like give me a big list of things. You, the client, you might want that, but also beware that the more communication you require as a client, the less work an agency will be able to do on their, like your account. So if you're hiring an agency, you're like, I want 2 teams. I had this one client that wanted 2 1-hour calls a week. We fired that client. Not doing that shit. We'll do up to 1 30-minute call, up to 1 30-minute call a week. And quite frankly, those we're trying to cut out now too, because there's nothing to talk about. If we were proactively communicating on Slack, that's what we like to use for communication, proactively communicating and talking to the client, updating about things going on in the account, taking any of their feedback. We're actively doing it right then and there. So when we get to the call, it's just like, oh, cool, what to talk about? There's nothing there to talk about. So I say this all the time. Like, the only time my clients don't want to call is when performance is bad. And the only time agencies don't want to call is like when they want to make more, when they want to ask you for more money. So anyway, just understand that both agency owners and clients or potential like people who are looking to hire an agency owner that are watching this video, definitely something to look at. So that's a couple different things right there. And this is more too for the people that are looking for hiring an agency. Is when you're hiring an agency, don't be too strict on the creative direction, and this is also too from a frame perspective. If you hiring an agency and the agency is just like, all right, tell us what to do, that's an immediate red flag. Fire that agency fast. When you hire an agency, you're hiring someone to get you to that next level. So if you're telling the agency what to do, you're going to limit your own growth. That's number one. Second thing is likely you have a bad agency if they're listening to everything you're saying because they haven't learned dummy tax yet, which a dummy tax is don't listen to the client. And reason why is because if you come to me for me to grow your business and you're telling me everything to do, well, why didn't you just do it yourself in the first place? Because you couldn't. You were stuck. You were likely didn't know the route to go. But if I come in with a specific solution and way that's going to grow your business, wouldn't you want to listen to me? So we keep a good frame with all of our clients that, hey, like what we're doing here is to help you grow. You hired us to grow your business, so let us work. Like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to destroy your brand. I'm not going to put an ad out that makes you look terrible. Like, I'm going to grow your brand here. So that's a big thing. That's more of just a warning to you guys who are about to hire an agency. If the agency's just like, tell us what to do, red flag, they can't think for their own, terrible, you fire them immediately. Same thing, vice versa. Agencies listen to this. If you hire a client or a client hires you and they're telling you everything to do and they won't listen to you, fire them quickly. Those are the worst type of clients. The worst type of agencies just sit there and listen to their client. Why? Because it's unethical. You wouldn't go to your doctor and tell your doctor everything, and you want to be treated this way. You have this particular problem. You're going to let the doctor do the work, tell you what you have as a problem, and do the work to fix you. You wouldn't do that. Like, you wouldn't just go to the doctor and tell them all the shit. So big key thing right there to look at as well. So that's a couple things right there. I know I'm kind of making this video a bit longer, but I really hope that helps out. Second thing, it's average for agencies to typically get results in those 30 to 60 day period of time. Most of our accounts we can crush I'd say like 50% of our accounts we crush the first 30 days. The other 50% of our accounts, it takes us like 30 to 60 days. So if an agency does tell you it takes about 30 to 60 days like to get results, like that's normal. But anything out of 60 days, like no, like there's no need for 90 days to get performance unless you're doing like this super complex project where like the first 60 days is creating content, then 60 to 90 days is actually launching the content. That's a different story. Another thing to look at is that at least in that first 30 days, the actions they're taking should be giving you confidence that they will perform in the 30 to 60 days. If it's full 30 days and nothing, just complete trash, and they're like, well, give us 30 to 60 more days. If there's nothing that's giving you confidence in another month going on, it's not worth staying with that agency for another month. They should be giving you confidence with every action. That's why every creative test we do and new ad test we do, it's based off research and based off learnings of previous ads we run. It's not like we're just shooting in the dark, gambling, trying to figure out what's going on in the account. So yeah, hopefully that kind of gives a little bit. I know kind of covered a little bit from an agency side and a client side. Hopefully that gives you some value. Hopefully that kind of helps you get a little bit of understanding for hiring an agency. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.